Become invincible. 3. Stoic attitudes to overcome obstacles. Hello everyone, dear Stoic friends and philosophy enthusiasts. Today we will explore 3 Stoic attitudes to become invincible and overcome obstacles. These are millennia-old teachings that haven't lost any relevance. 1. The dichotomy of control. Let's start with a fundamental attitude of Stoic philosophy, the dichotomy of control. It involves distinguishing between what is up to us and what is not up to us. In other words, making a difference between what we have the power to act upon and what is beyond our control. Let's take a concrete example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. You're late for an important appointment and the situation is stressing you out immensely. According to the principle of the dichotomy of control, it's essential to realize that you cannot act upon the traffic or fly over the vehicles in front of you. However, you can choose how to react to this situation. For example, you could decide to make the most of this waiting time by listening to my video on Stoicism or simply breathing deeply to relax with some music. So, dear friends, have you ever experienced a situation where you got angry about something you couldn't control, like the weather, for instance? If so, don't you think it was a bit like trying to teach Stoicism to a cat? Speaking of which, let me share with you an amusing and true anecdote that perfectly illustrates the dichotomy of control. One day, the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a great advocate of Stoicism, was writing his famous Meditations. While he was deeply concentrated on his work, a clumsy servant accidentally spilled ink on his precious manuscripts. Instead of getting angry or punishing the servant, Marcus Aurelius calmly turned to him and said, "Don't worry, my friend. We'll simply write the history of philosophy with darker ink." This astonishing reaction from the emperor shows how well he understood and integrated the principle of the dichotomy of control. He couldn't prevent the ink from spilling, but he could choose to react with wisdom and kindness. And you? What would have been your reaction to this clumsy servant? Try to imagine how you could apply the dichotomy of control in similar situations in your daily life. Think about a recent situation where you faced an obstacle. In hindsight, which elements truly depended on you and which were beyond your control? How could you have reacted differently by applying the dichotomy of control? In summary, dear friends, we have explored together the fundamental principle of Stoic philosophy, the dichotomy of control. It involves distinguishing between what is up to us and what is not up to us, to focus our efforts on the aspects we can truly influence. We illustrated this principle with the example of the traffic jam, where we cannot act upon the traffic, but we can choose our reaction to this situation. We also mentioned the anecdote of Emperor Marcus Aurelius and the clumsy servant, which shows the importance of reacting with wisdom and kindness to events we cannot control. So, don't forget, the next time you're confronted with a stressful or frustrating situation, take a moment to reflect on what truly depends on you and what is beyond your control. By applying the dichotomy of control, you'll be better equipped to face life's challenges with calm and resilience. And who knows, maybe you'll become as stoic as a Roman emperor. Why not? 2. Acceptance of fate. The second Stoic attitude I would like to discuss with you is the acceptance of fate, or amor fati in Latin. It involves accepting and even loving the events that occur in our lives, whether positive or negative, as they are an integral part of our destiny. One of the most famous anecdotes to illustrate this principle is that of the philosopher Epictetus, who was a slave before becoming one of the most influential Stoic thinkers. One day, his master violently twisted his leg. Epictetus, instead of rebelling or lamenting his fate, simply replied, "You're going to break my leg? Well, take it. It was made to be broken." This story shows us that even in the most difficult situations, we always have a choice regarding our attitude. By accepting events as they come, we can find the strength within us to overcome them and grow. So, dear friends, Have you ever heard of someone complaining about the rain while they were growing flowers? After all, no rain, no flowers. Similarly, without life's trials and challenges, we couldn't grow and flourish. Speaking of trials, let me share with you a fascinating and true anecdote that perfectly illustrates the acceptance of fate. During a boat trip, the Stoic philosopher Seneca and his companions found themselves caught in a terrible storm. While the other passengers panicked and screamed, Seneca remained calm and serene. He even took advantage of this situation to write one of his most famous works, On the Tranquility of the Soul. When asked how he could remain so calm in the face of such adversity, Seneca simply replied, "The storm is part of life, just like calm. I cannot control the weather, but I can control my reaction to it. And I have chosen to accept this trial with serenity and use it to nourish my soul." This story shows us how the acceptance of fate can help us overcome life's obstacles with courage and resilience. So, the next time you face a storm, whether literal or metaphorical, remember Seneca and his incredible ability to transform trials into opportunities for personal growth. And who knows, maybe you'll write your own masterpiece in the heart of the storm. Think about a negative event in your life that ultimately allowed you to improve or strengthen yourself. How could the acceptance of fate have helped you navigate this ordeal more serenely? 3. Visualization. Finally, the third Stoic attitude I propose we explore is negative visualization. Contrary to what its name might suggest, it does not involve wallowing in pessimism or misfortune, but rather mentally preparing oneself for potential obstacles and setbacks in life. Before continuing, I would like to share with you a true anecdote about Stoic visualization practice. This technique involves mentally anticipating negative events that could occur in our lives to better prepare for them and develop resilience. The story I'm about to tell you dates to the time of Roman Emperor Hadrian, another Stoicism advocate. Hadrian was known to regularly practice Stoic visualization, and it helped him overcome one of the greatest trials of his life. One day, while Hadrian was traveling, he learned that his favorite villa, located in Tivoli, had been ravaged by a fire. Most people would have been devastated by such news, but not Hadrian. Thanks to his Stoic visualization practice, he had already considered and accepted the possibility of losing his villa. Thus, when misfortune struck, he was prepared and was able to react with calm and serenity. It is said that Hadrian, instead of lamenting his fate, immediately began thinking about rebuilding his villa, making it even more beautiful and functional than before. He thus transformed this trial into an opportunity for growth and improvement. This anecdote reminds us of the importance of Stoic visualization in our daily lives. By anticipating challenges and setbacks, we can develop our resilience and our ability to face obstacles with calm and determination. So, don't hesitate to integrate this practice into your own personal journey. And remember, Emperor Hadrian and his villa rebuilt more beautifully than ever. Take a few moments to try this exercise. What are the strangest scenarios that come to mind? How could you react to these situations? Take a moment to reflect on this and share it in the comments below. This is a fun way to explore our reactions to our most creative thoughts and imaginings. The idea is to become aware of these possible scenarios, to better understand them and realize that we could handle them. This exercise also helps to put things into perspective and become aware of the fortune we have in enjoying certain situations or possessions. For example, you can mentally consider the possibility of losing your job, your health, or even a loved one. By envisioning these potentially difficult situations, you mentally prepare yourself to face adversity and strengthen your resilience. However, after performing this often considered negative visualization, I strongly recommend concluding by focusing on positive images. Visualize yourself getting a promotion at work or enjoying robust health for yourself and your loved ones. It is known that sustained visualizations and thoughts tend to manifest themselves in our lives. Now let me share with you a final anecdote that illustrates the power of positive visualizations. Did you know that at the beginning of his career, actor Jim Carrey wrote checks to himself for $10 million for services rendered as an actor? He visualized these checks as a way to motivate himself and mentally prepare for success. And guess what? Several years later, he landed a $10 million contract for a movie role. This is an anecdote that shows how our visualizations can sometimes materialize in surprising ways in our lives. So, after practicing visualizing potential scenarios, what are your goals or dreams that you visualize with optimism and determination? In conclusion, dear Stoic friends, I invite you to put these 3 principles into practice in your daily life. The dichotomy of control, the acceptance of fate, and visualization. By cultivating these attitudes, you will develop your resilience and your ability to overcome obstacles, becoming in turn invincible beings. Always remember that Stoic philosophy is above all a practical philosophy designed to help us live better and more fulfilling lives. We invite you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and to share your experiences and reflections in the comments. Let's stay in touch to continue learning and growing together. See you soon for a new video on our channel dedicated to Stoic philosophy.